Hey, what's up, everybody? JayC here. All right, there we go. JayC here. Welcome, everybody. Let's see who is in the house. Maybe nobody's in the house. I see some people there, but nobody's commenting, or at least I'm not seeing your comments. Oh, wait, there we go. Wow, that there must be a lag or something, because all of a sudden my screen just filled up with comments. All right, so let's see who's in the house. Lord Vengar, what's up? Joseph, can't wait for the live stream. Well, the live stream is here, my friend. Rick is in the house. I hope the Dr. Mindbender figure becomes available for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse at one per household, and with members getting early access. I feel this will be the only... So, I don't know if you saw the news yesterday, but the Hasbro brand team guys chimed in on social media, and they confirmed that Mindbender would be available for pre-order for those not attending the convention at some point. We don't know when they're going to put it up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse, but they will be. I believe they said limited one per person. I'm sure they'll do the whole premium thing. But and they said that they have more Dr. Mindbenders than they did the Zartans last year. So, and I don't remember anybody really not being able to get the Zartan who wanted it. So at least when it first went up for pre-order and stuff. So I feel pretty confident that most of us will get a shot at the Mindbender figure, and so I wouldn't worry too much. But what's up, Henry? Michael's in the house. Mr. Allmine is here. 3M. Tony C, what's up? Danny, what's up? Walrus Agent. Give everyone a code for Mindbender that got the his tank. I wouldn't mind that, but I mean, if they did that, then I mean the code to me is basically just, we want to try and act like we have something special for those that are actually attending the convention next week. And so we don't actually have any product in hand or anything like that, but we're going to give you this code so, you can feel like you're getting something special for actually coming out to the convention. So, again, the code, I don't really think is that big a deal. Michael, did I see? Yes, I saw the Thor movie last weekend. Way overdid the comedy, in my opinion. I thought the story wasn't actually, the actual story, once you get through all the comedic stuff, actually wasn't too bad. But I definitely feel like, that was my big fear. I thought they did a little too much comedy in Thor Ragnarok, and I had a feeling they were going to take it even farther in this movie, and they did. So I could have definitely done without that, but I mean, I didn't hate it, but I definitely felt like they overdid the comedy. If they have more Dr. Mindbenders than Zartan, hopefully this means we should be able to find him in stores with no... Well, at least the version of Dr. Mindbender we've seen with all the accessories, it is a summer exclusive, so you're not going to go into a store and find that. And Hasbro probably will sell out. So I wouldn't, whatever day Hasbro eventually announces for putting those up online, I wouldn't dawdle. I wouldn't just take your time and you'll get there when you get there. I would definitely plan on being there when the pre-orders go live and be ready to pre-order. But it's not going to be a general release, so you're not going to be able to go in the stores and find that version of Dr. Mindbender. Now, my feeling is we will see a regular version of Dr. Mindbender released in the line, with regular packaging and maybe just one or two accessories. At which point, for those who just want the Mindbender, eventually, even if you missed out on this Pulse Con exclusive one, I think you'll get another opportunity. But I know a lot of people want all the accessories and everything, so The thing, Danny, the thing about the comedy is I didn't think it sucked per se. It's just I don't know who decided that Thor was supposed to be this kind of bumbling comedic type character, like a Deadpool or something. I mean, that kind of thing works for Deadpool because that's how the character was essentially created to be. But unless something's changed drastically in the comics, I've never known Thor to be that way. And so it's just out of place for that character. So, if they want to do that kind of movie, pull out a character out of mothballs like Madcap or somebody and give him a movie. But I don't see why they keep doing that with Thor. Or actually, I do see why they do it, because I feel like the first two Thor movies were much more serious, and those two movies didn't do as well. So I feel like, Thor Ragnarok did much better than the first two Thor movies, and so I feel like they probably think that's because of the, comedy and stuff, and so that's why they've gone down this road. But to me personally, I don't think it really works for the Thor character. I don't mind a little bit of comedy. I don't mind a little bit of lightheartedness. Like take the goats. If that was like, if you threw those goats in there, like the screaming goats, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But, that was just like one of many, many things that I just feel like they kind of overdid. And I did not like how they portrayed Zeus in the movie. I'm not going to go into detailed spoilers, but I did not really like how the way they portrayed Zeus in the movie. I like the first Thor movie, but it did not do nearly as well as like Iron Man or Captain America. I don't think. Those other characters, when they were going through their origins, I don't think the Thor movie did as well. I can see that. I mean, Hemsworth definitely seems to like to do the comedy stuff, so that's probably another factor. Nah, we're not getting into spoilers for Thor. Not today, anyway. But anyway, let's get back to San Diego, because that's the big happening. So, Dr. Mindbender is going to be available in Hasbro Pulse at some point. My theory is, and this is just a theory, but my theory is that Hasbro is still going to have a PulseCon event at some point here this year. Like maybe not, well, definitely not this month, but maybe in August. But I could even see them maybe doing it, waiting until like September or October, maybe closer to like New York Comic Con time. But I feel like they are definitely going to do a PulseCon this year, even though they are going to be at San Diego Comic Con this year. So the reason why I think that is because if you think about it, so the only two exclusives that they're even making available for pre-order during Comic Con are the Dr. Mindbender and the Star Wars that Boba Fett figure. So no Transformers, no other Marvel, and at the same time as Comic Con next week is going to be the Walmart Collector Con. So, I mean, I just feel like in Hasbro's presence, I don't think it's going to be super huge at San Diego this year. I mean, like, for Marvel, Dwight Stahl isn't even going to be there. They say because he had previous obligations that he committed to before he realized that San Diego was happening this year. But I mean, the fact that like your head guy for Marvel Legends isn't even going to be at the convention, it just says everything screams to me that Hasbro is got other things planned, like a PulseCon or something, and that Comic Con is just kind of like it's going to be they're going to have some stuff, they're going to reveal some stuff, but I would not expect it to be on the same level as pre-COVID Comic Cons. I mean, I might be wrong. Again, this is just my theory, but even things like I've seen going up for pre-order next week, it's not a huge number of things. So it's just like I said, I feel like this is, they're going to Comic Con just to have a presence there. It's the big show of the industry and all that. so they're going to have a presence. But I feel like they're still going to have a PulseCon at some point this year, where they're real like I don't think we're gonna see the Marvel Legends HasLab project revealed at Comic-Con this year. So like I feel like they're gonna do that at a big event, like again maybe a PulseCon or something. So yeah, they're not gonna have their store there this year. Now part of that is also, I mean, the other factor with this year is like they don't have their exclusives ready. Like, and all of this, one of the things about this is it says Hasbro was not planning on going to San Diego until the very last minute. So, that's another factor here. So, they're not going to have any exclusives in hand because they didn't have them ready in time to be at the convention, which is why they're doing the whole code thing and only doing pre-orders for 2 of the figures and all that. If you look at like the Marvel Legend Mojo box set, I mean, that's supposed to be the big box set for Marvel Legends this year, the summer exclusive. That's not going to start shipping at the very earliest until like December of this year. So, that pretty much tells you, you know, there's no point in them having a store. Will Playmates be at San Diego? I don't know. I don't think they're going to have, like, they're not going to have a booth. They never have a booth. Sometimes they have stuff at the Nickelodeon booth. I did see them make a post on social media today in regards to Star Trek. So we might see some new Star Trek reveals next week. But no, Playmates Toys is not going to have a huge presence at Comic-Con. I wouldn't blame them if they don't. I mean, I feel like one of the things that COVID showed us the past 2 years is we don't really need these big giant conventions anymore as far as like to reveal stuff and things like that. I feel like, more people are able to, I feel like the virtual stuff works out much better for a lot of reasons than the physical conventions. I'm not saying the physical conventions should go away, but I feel like they don't need to be as big as San Diego had gotten, and I don't think it's a case where like a company has to be there, at least from where I'm sitting. Now I'm sure there are people who are involved with the convention and all that who are definitely pushing to try and get back to where things were before COVID, but in my view, I don't feel like it's really needed. Tony C, is the NECA Masters of the Universe rumor at San Diego? You lost me there. Clarify what you mean. And I talked about how I had thought maybe Hasbro was going to have some Sergeant Slaughter figures available at the con and maybe have Slaughter himself there to sign like autographs and stuff, but it doesn't look like that's happening. There's been no mention of Sergeant Slaughter being at Hasbro, and I don't think they're going to have the figure itself will go up for pre-order next week, but I don't think they're going to have any on hand at the convention. Now, in the press release Hasbro put out yesterday, there was a mention that there's going to be some type of G.I. Joe classified reveal at the Entertainment Earth booth next week at Comic-Con. So my first thought was, well, maybe Entertainment Earth will have like a limited number of Sergeant Slaughter figures on hand for people to buy there. But I've done some checking, and they are doing some type of reveal. I don't know exactly what it is they're revealing, but it's not something that they're going to be selling there at the show. So, and I don't know why they're doing a reveal at the Entertainment Earth booth as opposed to the Hasbro booth. Maybe because there's a lot going on. The Hasbro booth is going to be small this year, and there's a lot going on with all the selfie scanning and all that kind of stuff. So that might be why they're doing a reveal over at Entertainment Earth, but they're definitely not selling like Sergeant Slaughter figures at the show. So that was a theory of mine that was maybe something they were going to do, but it definitely does not look like that's going to be the case. Peter Cullen. Yeah, I think I did. I didn't read the Transformers description that closely, but he's been, he's been there a few different times. He's probably there to plug more of the entertainment properties that are going on with Transformers. 3M, as far as the selfie series thing is concerned, you'd have to be a special kind of egomaniac to want to figure a figure of yourself. Other than, I don't see the appeal. I can see the appeal where it totally loses me is the cost, $60. If it was like a $30 figure, I definitely could maybe into, especially if like they had a Captain America figure. I could maybe see that, but yeah, $60 just to have my face. And like if I could have if like I could scan myself with like my hat on, I might be more inclined. But I I don't have that attractive of a mug. I have a feeling that, I have big ears. I know I have big ears. That would look pretty silly on an action figure. So, I just, either it wouldn't really look like me or it would look kind of goofy. And, I'm not going to pay $60 for that. But I get where Hasbro's going, and I can't fault Hasbro for doing it, because I've seen a lot of people be like, oh yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to get that, or I'm going to get that for my kid, or, what have you. So, from a marketing standpoint, I think it's actually a pretty smart move on uh, Hasbro's part. All right. 3M, the comic aspect of San Diego Comic Con has been a thing of the past, long ago. San Diego Comic Con is a Hollywood event first and foremost, and comics took a back door a long time ago. Honestly, one of the reasons why I feel like Hasbro is there this year is because Disney is going to have a presence this year, and so I feel like that's, if Disney had pulled out and wasn't going to be there, my guess is Hasbro wouldn't be there. That's just my theory, but the they announced in the press release yesterday, they officially announced that they were doing figures or toys. They said a product line. They didn't specifically say figures, but I can tell you that there will be figures for the new movie. Now, nothing, I haven't heard anything about like an animated series. I know that's what you guys are going to be looking for, but definitely for the upcoming movie, they're doing products. And I expect the first figure to go up for pre-order next week. So that obviously I'm sure will be revealed next week. I don't know what it is. Though I think I think it's gonna have like a $35 price point, so I'm assuming it's some type of deluxe figure. All right, so I'm scrolling through your comments because I wonder. So I've not heard any rumors about. I'm just reading through your guys' comments. I've heard no rumors about NECA doing Masters of the Universe, so I'm not sure where that came from. I'm sure Sergeant Slaughter is a little bit of an egomaniac, but probably well deserved, at least in the world of wrestling. That would be funny, but see, I don't think you can. My guess is they won't let you wear hats or hoods or masks or anything like that. So I won't say 100%, but I doubt they're going to let you do anything like that. KB, I agree that Masters of the Universe 2-pack that they announced today for San Diego is probably I definitely am digging that. That's that and the Dr. Mindbender are probably the two exclusives that I'm most interested in getting. Hey Darth, what's up? Well, I don't even know where you guys heard this rumor of neck. So, and if I had to guess, so obviously PowerCon used to be the Masters of the Universe convention, right? But not this year. But like the first company that was announced to be attending PowerCon this year was NECA Toys. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was like, "Oh, NECA's attending PowerCon this year. They must be doing Masters of the Universe." So, no connection at all. PowerCon is just trying to transform itself into essentially an all cumbersome toy convention, kind of like a toy fair. Think of toy fair, but open to the public is what PowerCon is trying to become. So, but if there was any rumors that NECA and Masters of the Universe, that's probably how it started. That somebody heard, saw that NECA was attending PowerCon, and before realizing that PowerCon was no longer just a Masters of the Universe convention, they were like, "Oh, well, NECA's attending PowerCon. They must be doing Masters of the Universe." Yeah, Doctor Mindbender is definitely an exclusive that I want to get. And then that Masters of the Universe Masterverse 2-pack that we saw today. Those are the two exclusives that I am most looking forward to. No, I only offer my love streams to my wife. Sorry, man. But no, my live stream, I'd have to look at the settings. I assume you could change the language, but I'll be honest with you, I've never really thought about it. Yeah, my cat stole my chair the other day. She does that all the time. It's a power trip. As soon as you get out of the chair, she'll jump in it. I did. I posted about it this morning at like 3 in the morning when Hot Toys put the video up about it. Now, this isn't the first time Hot Toys has like shown off like a Star Wars vehicle like that, and they've never materialized. So until I actually see it go up for pre-order, I wouldn't necessarily hold my breath on it. But yeah, I did see that, and I think I saw a bat wing on display at their Hot Toys event that they had overseas. That they posted images for this morning. So, I don't know if we'll see any of these large 1/6 scale vehicles, and I definitely would not be able to get them. I wouldn't have the space, and I'm sure the price is going to be hugely expensive. But yes, I did see that. Not really, other than I'm pretty sure we're not going to see an announcement next week for the HasLab Marvel Legends project, but I mean, my bet is like a Fing Fang Foom is one of my is I feel like that's got the most likelihood. Now it's just based on pure speculation, not on anything I've heard, other than Dwight did say was quoted as saying that he would love to get a shot at redoing that figure. But Fing Fang Foom is probably one that I could easily see them doing this year. That's assuming they do a figure and not a vehicle. Ashman, do I think the His tank will add anything else? At most, blast effects maybe that you can stick onto the cannons, but I wouldn't expect like another figure or something like that. Chuck, superpower figures have been hitting Walmarts for the last week. Todd put that video out this afternoon, officially announcing those figures, and I have to laugh how he sits there and acts like this is something like we've never seen before. While they've been hitting stores for the next last couple of weeks, but as far as online, my guess you would think like Todd could have at least told us when Walmart was going to put them up online, though he probably actually doesn't know. But my guess is probably next week during the Walmart Collector Con. So which starts on the 21st. So that would be my guess is when we'll see those available online. But as for physical stores, they've been hitting physical stores for a couple weeks now. Uh, that's a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. So on the 22nd, if you're not attending San Diego, you will get a shot at it on Mattel Creations website, mattelcreations.com, or just Google Mattel Creations. But the 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is noon Eastern time, it will probably sell out pretty quickly. So if you want to try and get that, then you'll want to be online around that time. Or if you are attending San Diego Comic Con, then Mattel will be offering that set at the convention, so you could grab it there. But that is a Comic Con exclusive. Now I wouldn't be surprised if at least like the Zeus figure ended up getting a single release at some point, but the 2-pack with the VHS packaging and everything, that's a Comic Con exclusive. Well, I don't think every Walmart in the country has gotten them in stock yet. They've slowly been I've seen them slowly kind of making their way around. Eventually, it'll probably be much easier to get, and again, online, I would expect them to go up next week. What's up, McFarlane Maniac? Snake, Dr. Mindbender, the deluxe one is a Comic Con exclusive. Well, it's a it's exclusive. If you're going to the convention, you can get a code so that you can pre-order it starting this weekend. At a later date, Hasbro will have it up on the Hasbro Pulse website. I don't know if it'll be pre-order or actual purchase, probably pre-order, but they haven't told us exactly when they're going to make them available on Hasbro Pulse, but that will be the place unless you're attending the convention, at which point you can get the code to pre-order it early, but for most of us, it'll be on Hasbro Pulse at some later date. Oh, you mean like doing Hush Batman as a DC Superpowers, or like in Wave 2, we're gonna see the Batman Who Laughs figure? Yeah, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, I mean, the nostalgia part is obviously the packaging for the most part. I mean, obviously they're not highly articulated or anything like that either, but I've actually done a video, like a tour video of this entire room. So hunt through my channel for that if you want a more in-depth look. Not a little bit's changed, but not a whole lot since I did that video. No, the superpowers are 5 inch. That's what they're listed at. I haven't measured them. Darkseid's taller than Batman and Superman, but they're 5 inch scale basically. Well, their list is 5-inch scale, not 4-inch. But again, I have not actually taken a tape measure to them to precisely measure them. But they're listed as 5-inch figures. Well, John, I'm sure Hasbro will do the premium members get like an hour, like get to pre-order them an hour before anyone else. You know, if you want to pay $50 to be able to pre-order it sooner. But so if you're a premium member, you know, my guess is you'll get that access. I wouldn't recommend paying $50 for that, but what's up, Everett? I didn't know Hooters were still around. All the ones around here went out of business. I don't know. Super 7, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some of those available after the convention, but for now they're just saying at the con. So we'll have to wait and see if they put up any online after the convention. I would, if just speculating and guessing, I would say they probably will, but for right now they're just saying at the convention. I like that. I don't really collect reaction figures, but I got to tell you that Pyramid of Darkness box set that they announced today is actually kind of cool, just for the robot. Uh, I re- I remember that scene from Pyramid of Darkness with the robot where it's like the Great Snake rules forever, like the passcode. But the thing of it is, Chuck, I didn't spend $50 and I was able to get Zartan. I didn't really want Venom, but I got Zartan with no problem last year and I didn't pay the $50 premium. So, I mean, I won't sit here and tell you. I mean, it definitely gives you a little better chance if you want absolute guarantee of getting it, but to me, it's just not worth paying $50 just to be able to get it first crack at it. I mean, I hate that whole premium thing. So we've talked about that a number of times. 100 bucks? Hell no. I ain't that cheap. And the thing about that robot, even though it's a reaction figure, it probably, if you have like 3 3/4 inch GI Joe figures, it will probably work pretty well with it. So I did pay for shipping, but that was still cheaper than $50. I don't hate free shipping, but there are plenty of other places online that offer you free shipping or cheap shipping. So I very rarely buy from Hasbro Pulse directly unless it is an exclusive. So it would not be, I would not get my money's worth in free shipping for like 1 or 2 figures that I buy from there a year. So that's why I don't like it. And I just think the principle of it is, you know, expecting people to pay an extra $50 to be given a greater opportunity to be able to buy your product. It just doesn't sit well with me. Here's the thing with the shipping. So if you truly buy that much stuff from Hasbro Pulse on a regular basis, then paying $50 for the free shipping might pay for itself. But I just, like I said, there are other places, Amazon, if you spend a certain amount at most places, Entertainment Earth, Target, what have you, they throw in free shipping. GameStop, Big Bad Toy Store has $4 shipping. Like you can build up your pile of loot and have like an entire huge box of stuff sent to you for only $4. So I just personally do not find the free shipping aspect to be that valuable. If you honestly do, then it might be worth it. But looking at it from the standpoint of just having an opportunity to get something first, I do not think paying $50 is worth it. And then there's this whole thing about, Hasbro as the manufacturer is kind of competing with the small e-tailers selling the same stuff. And I don't really like that. I don't mind Hasbro selling an exclusive here or there on their website, but I don't like when Hasbro is essentially competing with the small toy e-tailers. I don't like that. It's kind of like, you're the manufacturer and you're trying to be a retailer. I mean, I know a lot of toy companies do it more and more these days, but I don't think it's very good for the hobby overall. And then like I look at the thing like the X-Force box set that was supposed to be a Disney Shop Disney exclusive. So that's where like I pre-ordered mine, and I know they made some available, on Hasbro Pulse, but Hasbro Pulse is the only place that shipped that box set. Those of us who pre-ordered it at Disney, which was what was billed as the place that had the primary place that had the exclusive, they didn't ship it. They canceled everybody's order. So I feel like, Hasbro should have made sure that the people who pre-ordered that box set from Disney were the first ones to get their sets, not the people who pre-ordered it at Hasbro Pulse. So, that's my problem with all of that. Hasbro's a manufacturer, they're not a retailer, okay? So I feel like the manufacturer should not be competing with the retailers. And, that's just how pretty much what it comes down to. I'm st- and I'm still waiting for them to like make it available again. But yeah, that still rubs me the wrong way. That X Force box set. Hasbro said it was a Shop Disney exclusive in their live stream when they announced it. Walmart and Amazon alone is not why we don't have Toys R Us anymore. We don't have Toys R Us anymore because Toys R Us and the management made a lot of bad decisions that basically, you know, put them out of business. Yes, the competition was part of the equation, but not the only thing that put them out of business. I mean, I still feel that sooner or later Hasbro will make that box set available again in some shape or form, whether they'll put more up on Hasbro Pulse or whether they will. I would have pre-ordered it from Hasbro Pulse. Like they put it up a couple different times on Hasbro Pulse, but I was like sitting there, well, I have it on pre-order from Shop Disney, so I'm just going to wait for it to come from Disney. And then, you know, they canceled it. Well, you might be right there, but I feel like it should be the other way around. Hasbro should make sure that the retailer gets the stuff first, and then if they have leftover, then they can sell it directly. But definitely in the case of the X-Force box set, you're right. But I don't think that's how it should work. I hope not, because I don't have an Ollie's around me. But maybe eventually someplace like Big Bad Toy Store will be able to sell it. I don't know. Han, that is Duke on my shirt, and I believe I got this from Amazon. Yeah, I don't know what happened there with Shop Disney. I mean, it was definitely very odd, but what's up, Quinn? How you been, man? Sean, what's up? So, what are you guys hoping to see next week from anybody, honestly? I'm thinking for Marvel Legends, I'm thinking we're going to see. So, first of all, the retro Walmart exclusive lizard figure is definitely going up for pre order during Collector Con next on the 21st. What is that, Thursday or Friday? I think that's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. So, if you want that lizard figure, be prepared to pre order that next week. But for new reveals, I'm expecting we'll see probably the remaining retro figures that I've talked about that are kind of part of the 20th anniversary line on the retro card back. So the Beast figure, the Ghost Rider figure, and the Scorpion figure. So I figure they'll go on and reveal those next week. The remaining 60th anniversary Spider-Man figures, which off the top of my head, I can't remember what's left from that list to be revealed. I maybe the new wave of Black Panther movie figures, and the only reason why I think that is because I believe they're going to show off the first trailer for the Black Panther movie at Comic-Con next weekend. So it's possible we could see those figures. Yeah, I don't I don't know what Mattel's going to do as far as like if they're going to show off much in the way of new Masters of the Universe product. They've got a panel in Hall H, which is like the big big boy room for Comic-Con, but I don't think they're going to like reveal new toys in that. Maybe they will. I don't know. It's possible they might just have a few new things out at their booth, but I don't know how much new stuff we're going to see from Masters of the Universe next week. Jada Toys is doing Street Fighter 6-inch figures, and hold on, no, I forgot the other one. Mega Man. There we go. It slipped my mind. So Street Fighter and Mega Man figures. Jada Toys has announced. After the con, no. During the con, so the 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific time, those Mattel will be putting up for sale their con exclusives on the Mattel Creations website. So I would not expect them to last very long. Hopefully they'll last longer than 2 seconds, but I would not expect them to last that long. But if you want a shot at the No Holds Barred 2-pack or the Masters of the Universe 2-pack or any of the other exclusives, the Jurassic Park, the guy getting eaten off the toilet, or the Knight Rider kit Hot Wheels, or the Ghost Rider Hot Wheels, those all will be going up on the Mattel Creations website on the 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So basically noon Eastern time. But I would not expect them to last long. and I doubt they'll be offered again after the convention. Do I think we'll get the turtles themselves? Probably. I was seeing something. It does look like those are new sculpts. I was thinking previously maybe those were the ones they had released previously. So yes, probably almost definitely we'll see those again. As far as those 2-packs, I personally don't have a huge interest in them, but and I was considering maybe the Street Fighter 2-packs, but now that I know Jada Toys is doing Street Fighter figures, I may just hold off and get those. Chuck, thank you, man, for the super chat donation. When can we get Spectra Man? Who holds the rights? You got me there. I don't know. If you've seen their Universal Monster figures, I gotta imagine they're gonna be pretty much on par with those. So if you want to kind of, I mean, you can kind of see what they look like in those images they released yesterday, but if you want like an idea of like articulation and things like that, look at those Universal Monster figures that they're doing. Shocker Toys, that's not a name I've heard in a long time. Did they have it down to $40? They had it, what was it, like $69 here in the US. I didn't see it for $40 overseas, so I don't know. Any word in regards to what? Like, are they doing more of them or what? But I haven't really heard anything that recently. It does not look like it, Lord Wenger. Maybe again, as I said earlier, I speculate that Hasbro's still going to be doing a PulseCon this year at some point, but there was no mention of Indiana Jones in their press release. So I am not expecting any Indiana Jones reveals next week from Hasbro. But again, I kind of feel like they're going to do a PulseCon still this year, even though they are attending Comic-Con. So especially if it's a little bit later in the year, that's probably when we would see those. Or start to see them. What's one figure or toy line that you would like to see made that isn't out now? I wouldn't mind seeing Dungeons and Dragons animated series figures or mask, and I'm not talking about bootlegs, but an actual officially licensed mask line. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Even though I really wasn't that hugely into mask as a kid, but I'm pretty good on Wrecking Crew because I have the ones they put out previously, which were pretty good figures. So as far as Marvel Legends go, I mean, I want to see Wolfsbane. I want to see Feral, so I can finish out my X Force and X Factor teams. I'd like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing a Doc Samson figure too. I want to see. We need a Namorta and a young Vance Astro to round out the new Warriors. So those are the ones I would want to see from Marvel Legends. No, nothing on animated series. Hasbro's launching a figure line for the new movie, but they haven't said anything specifically about animated series figures. Now they might still slip something out there, but for now, all they've said is they're doing stuff for the new movie. Yeah, but those are not officially, the Raymond Toy stuff is not officially licensed, so those are essentially bootlegs. So I don't really count that. Now, Raven Toys did announce that they're doing Dungeons and Dragons, so I don't know if those are officially licensed or not. They use the actual word Dungeons and Dragons, which makes me kind of feel like maybe it's actually officially licensed. So who knows? Maybe they will do some animated series for D&D. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Rachel Summers to round out Excalibur would be good, and I wouldn't mind a British Betsy. We just got Speedball, so I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Storm Collectibles do more Gatchaman figures, or as I always call them, G-Force. You know, we got the leader coming, but they haven't announced any more since then. But I would like somebody. It's kind of like Thundercats. I would like somebody to do the entire team for G-Force. And if somebody could do a really cool like vehicle, their jet, that would be cool too. Han. So you guys need to keep checking TNI on a daily basis because I just did a story about those today. So let me do it for you. March 3rd of next year is when the D&D movie is supposed to be out. Hulk 2099. Hopefully we will see that Apocalypse Marvel Select figure next week. So I watched the last 3 episodes of Miss Marvel yesterday. Um, it was okay. Like, to me, the character very much had a Tom Holland Spider-Man vibe to her. It was almost like watching a female version of Tom Holland Spider-Man. So I feel like if you like especially the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, I don't know why you wouldn't like this movie or this series, I should say. But I thought it was okay. The ending, and I'm not going to go into spoilers here, but at the very end, there were not only at the very end of the last episode, but then the mid-credit scene definitely were interesting. Yeah, it seems like the only figure we get for 2099 is Spider-Man. I wouldn't mind a Punisher 2099, maybe a Doctor Doom 2099. Not that I mean, I don't know what you mean by Hasbro's cinematic universe. Are we going to see a crossover between Transformers and Dungeons and Dragons? No, I don't think so. But it's definitely, I think Hasbro, it's being produced by Paramount and E1, which Hasbro owns. So I definitely feel like, Hasbro is continuing to try and break into Hollywood and become a production company. So I'm sure this is playing a large role of that. I'm sure the execs at Hasbro are very much hoping that Dungeons and Dragons will be a huge box office success. Yeah, X-Men 2099. I used to read X-Men, Punisher, Doom, Spider-Man. When they first launched the 2099 line, I would read all those comics. I haven't read anything recently. I was never into Micronauts, so I can't say that I'm dying to get a new Micronauts line. I'm sure eventually we will get Werewolf by Night. Omega. Well, I mean, all those properties. Well, I mean, we just got the Snake Eyes movie, and that totally bombed. We do have Transformers stuff coming. Dungeons and Dragons again is being produced by E1, which is owned by Hasbro. So, I mean, yes, they are continuing to try and put out movies for their properties. But when you say cinematic universe, I tend to think that they're interconnecting. And no, I don't think those things will be interconnecting. They'll still be their own thing. Brave Star, those would be interesting. I could see somebody like a Super 7 or maybe even like a Raymond Toys doing those. Do they? I opened mine. I don't know how much they are loose. I've got Bengali and Vulture Man coming from Entertainment Earth, so I should have those hopefully by next week. Well, like again, they were trying to launch GI Joe, but the Snake Eyes movie bombed, so I wouldn't expect to see if next time we get another GI Joe movie, it will probably be completely different from the Snake Eyes movie. But I haven't heard anything of like a new GI Joe movie in the works since Snake Eyes. I would not, because as cool as it would be to see, I would have no room for it, so I wouldn't be able to get it, even if Hasbro made it. So I wouldn't give up a kidney for it. 'Hey Benjamin, thanks for watching and checking it out. I would have liked to have seen figures based on if you mean by young X-Men, if you mean like the X-Men that traveled from the past to the future, and then they got like new updated outfits and everything. I don't know what ever happened to those versions of the X-Men, but I wouldn't have mind seeing. They gave us that Toys R Us box set in just the generic outfits, but I wouldn't mind seeing those versions with the updated outfits that they'd got. Of course, I wouldn't mind seeing like an original X Factor team set done either, but I don't know if we'll ever get to that. I do not think they will. I have not seen any indications of any significant new Mortal Kombat figures coming from McFarlane, so I wouldn't hold my breath on Mortal Kombat. I do hope that like tomorrow for summer their summer showcase, I hope we get to see the Nightfall Batman figure that should be coming. That's the one I want to see the most. 3M, I'm going to say slim to none for X-Men Evolution, at least in any kind of near immediate future. I don't know where Super 7's Monstar is, but the Raymond Toy Monstar looks better than the Super 7 one, to be absolutely honest. I also wonder if Hasbro will show off their Spider-Man figures based on Toby, Andrew, and Tom from No Way Home. I noticed like we saw the Hot Toys figures and the Tomasi Nations SH Figure Arts figures this week for those three. So I'm wondering if Hasbro will have anything to show next week at Comic Con. And there may be some type of Marvel Legend reveal coming tomorrow. It seems like the Hasbro guys have been teasing something is coming this week on social media. I don't know what it would be, but we might get some type of reveal tomorrow for Marvel Legends. That wave is right now. I mean, the actual release date listed is next year, but my guess is they'll be out later this year, probably late summer, early fall. I have the Toy Biz Angel figure. The coolest thing about that Super 7 bat to me is it's like you, at least if you're going to the convention, you actually can have it in hand. So like it'll be the first GI Joe Ultimates figure that people will have in hand. But I actually prefer the regular version over that variant that they showed off today. Yeah. I don't know when we're gonna see that Michael Keaton Batman. I mean, I think eventually it will get released. I don't think we got ripped off per se, but it'd be nice if they at least gave us like an update. I do remember Avengers United They Stand. Henry, I don't know. I mean, I need Snarf, and I don't know how they're gonna release Snarf, so but I probably will definitely get more choosy with the Thundercats. Like, I don't think I'm gonna buy every single Thundercat figure that they put out. I could maybe go with the Burbles, and there might be a few other characters that if they did, I would end up picking up. But I'm definitely, if the line ended tomorrow, you know, now that I've got my main team, I mean, minus Snarf, and yes, I have the Mattel Wily Kit and Wily Cat, so for those of you who didn't get the Mattel ones, hopefully Super 7 will get those out for you. But I'm fine with my Mattel ones, so I don't personally need those. Of course, that probably means that's how they'll release Snarf. They'll probably do like a 2-pack with Wily Kit and Wily Cat and throw Snarf in there. So I'll have to buy those two again. Damn, dude, you like to ask a lot of dumb questions, don't you? Are you just like sitting there thinking of the stupidest questions you can ask? You got an email? I don't think I've gotten any emails from Big Bad Toy Store on that one. Omega, a cartoon Robin from Teen Titans. I didn't get the Cyborg, so I probably wouldn't get Robin. But the thing about like the animated series or the Teen Titans is like McFarlane is so slow getting those out. I mean, it'll be like 10 years from now before they would even come close to completing any of those teams. So I don't know. It's kind of almost kind of pointless. Same thing with like the CW figures. I mean, they put out Flash and a crappy Arrow figure, but I'm not going to buy those because I don't think there's much chance they're ever going to get around to doing most of those characters. I won't say you're the only one, but probably in a minority there. All right, man, take it easy. Got to take care of the kid. What figure line is overrated? What line are you done with? Black Series is, I wouldn't say necessarily overrated, but Black Series I find myself less and less interested in. So I feel like maybe the Star Wars has run its course for now, but that's just me. I mean, I know there's still plenty of people out there who want Star Wars and would freak if Star Wars ended, but for me personally, I've found myself less and less interested in Star Wars. The NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, I feel like we're getting to such obscure characters that each time they announce something new, I'm like, yeah, do I really need or want that? So I feel like that's kind of coming to a running its course. Yeah, that new Deathstroke figure they just showed off today. I would have rather had more of a classic look, but I probably will pick that one up. And the Ocean Master figure, I don't know if I'll get that one or not. Are you saying goodbye to Lightning Collection because that line no longer interests you, or you're saying Hasbro saying goodbye to Lightning Collection? I thought it was kind of odd that there's no Power Ranger panel at Comic Con this year. Devon, I don't know if I have a Dream Wave. I mean, U.S. Agent was an updated U.S. Agent, which I'm still waiting to get my hands on, but we've got that coming. Um, and the ones I previously mentioned to round out those teams. But most are like I don't see them doing in one single wave like an X character and a New Warriors character and like a Alpha Flight character. So they're individual characters that I would like to see, but not necessarily that would be in one single wave. I don't know what happened to the repaint wave that was supposed to be like the LGN figures. I assume those will go back up for pre-order at some point, but it's been quite a while since they went up and then got pulled down. But those really didn't interest me, so I definitely won't be getting those. U.S. Agents, the new U.S. Agent figure. I wish somebody here in the U.S. would actually get it in stock. Like I got the Speedball figure from that wave, but still waiting on US Agent. Well, an updated Superior Spider-Man with tentacles would be nice. Do I think? Do you mean like classic Keaton movies? I don't know. It's Batman, so anything Batman is certainly possible when it comes to McFarlane, and I would think that would be very popular. So it seems like almost like a no-brainer that they would do that. Definitely, I think we'll end up getting a modern Michael Keaton Batman figure at some point. But he's mostly. I mean, he used to have his own. He started out in his own comic, but he's one of the members of the New Warriors, or the original New Warriors, I should say. And he was actually he started the whole in the comics the whole Civil War. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Jack Nicholson Joker, but I don't think it's going to happen because of likeness rates. So I wouldn't hold my breath on Jack Nicholson. Yeah, I guess Beast Kingdom did announce those figures. Those are 8 inch though. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't a whole new scale. I mean, like I have the Michael Keaton NECA figure, so I mean that's a pretty decent figure for Michael Keaton. But I would definitely, if McFarlane did a Michael Keaton Batman, I would get it. If they did a Michael Keaton Joker, or Jack Nicholson Joker, I would get that definitely. The black one, I mentioned it briefly. Basically, it's not really a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. You'll just be able to You'll be if you go to the San Diego Comic Con, you'll be the first to be able to pre-order it. But I don't see that figure. Oh, well, it is Boba Fett, so even though it is just a repaint, it might still be fairly popular. I don't know. Yeah, so, I mean, you got a point there on Penance. Speedball became the character Penance. I don't even remember how that happened. I forget how he became Penance, but basically they wanted to take a carefree light character and turn him into a dark character. I guess they thought that was going to make him more popular. So I actually like the original Speedball comics. The Pattinson Batman movie was okay, but I've not really been into any of the figures. I haven't gotten any Pattinson Batman figures from anybody. I guess maybe McFarlane's the only one that's actually released any, but how did Namorita cause civil war? I thought Speedball blew up the school or Penance. I forget if he was Penance or was he Speedball when he did that, but he blew up the school. That's what caused. Yvonne, that's the beauty of the internet, man. You can sit there at your computer naked and nobody will know. I think a classic Bane is what people want to see, which I believe is coming. So hopefully, to go along with the Nightfall Batman. What video game would I like to see? Final Fight or Streets of Rage? If I had to pick between those two, I'd probably go with Final Fight. They were attacked Nitro and he blew up the school. Yeah, I don't remember, but for some reason I thought Speedball got the blame for it. I have not played Ultimate Alliance 2. It will take. I went into a Dave and Buster's the other day. I was actually looking to see if they had gotten that new Transformer game that Hasbro was hyping in their last live stream. But I saw they had the Marvel game for that. I didn't know there was an actual arcade. Like I thought that was like an app game or something. Double Trouble. Yes, I did. I sold all of those bins um, to a local vintage toy store. I don't know, Warriors. I might not be. Yeah, Storm Collectibles is supposed to be doing Darkstalkers. I'm debating on whether, like, Arcade One Up is releasing a new Street Fighter cabinet, which actually looks pretty nice. I've been kind of wanting like classic Street Fighter, like I have the Marvel versus Capcom games, but classic Street Fighter 2 cabinet. So I'm thinking about it if I can try and find space back there of getting that one. What, those designer Street Shark figures that they offered on Mattel Creations for like $100 didn't float your boat? It's almost 8:30, so I think we are going to call it a night. So next week, Comic-Con, I probably will do a live stream next Tuesday. I don't know if I'll be able to do one next Thursday. It depends on how busy I am with Comic-Con coverage. So we'll see, but definitely should do one like, Tuesday before Comic-Con actually starts. But as always, guys, thanks for coming in tonight. And stay safe out there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, though if you guys are commenting, I believe you have to be. But yeah, so stay safe out there, guys. News video tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. And here's looking forward to hopefully some cool reveals at San Diego next week. No, Brian, you can't come to bed with me. Sorry, man.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.